So look at this background. We are in the Jungfrau region, and that is the Jungfrau behind us. We're in a place called Wengen, Switzerland, and we wanted to give you some tips, a couple of opinions about taking the trip to the Jungfraujoch, which is the saddle just beneath the summit of the Jungfrau, and it's called the top of Europe, very famous around the world, but when you're here, you absolutely know it's the thing to do.
So tip number one is make sure you check the weather. Basically, if it's going to be a cloudy day and it's socked in, it's totally not worth your experience. So make sure you check that. We'll include the website below in the comments. So that is number one. Number two is to look at the different Swiss passes that are available that allows you discounts. There's the Swiss travel pass, and then there's the half price travel pass, which we took part in, and we definitely wouldn't have done that without the advice of an agent at one of the train stations who kind of talked us through it, because quite frankly it is really confusing, and to work the math without knowing in the region that we're in now, you have to take a train almost everywhere. We have a rental car, but we're not able to drive to any of the villages. So that means we have to take the trains, and each of those trains has a cost to it. And without knowing that, and sometimes it's not even a train, it's a cable car, it's a funicular.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit unpredictable before you get here in order to do it. But the half price travel fare worked great for us.
You definitely did, and again, we got that through advice from an individual at a train station, and she spent a half an hour with us, kind of walking us through and giving us refunds for the trips that we had taken. I couldn't have figured it out for sure. But now we get up there, and it's a big glacier, and these mountain peaks. You're right up at them in the Jungfrau. You can't see the Eiger from there, but you're very close to it. And then you look the other direction, these green valleys. It's extraordinary. I mean, you're up high in the mountains at the top of Europe. But so is everybody else you've ever imagined to be alive in the world in your life. And we're all crammed on all these very small, platforms to go out and get the looks. And so now you pay this premium, and in a way, the experience is almost more about the people that you're surrounded by, kind of doing the same thing you are, I mean, in their defense, but it's more about sort of being crowded around people, seeing something interesting.
Yeah, and definitely detracted from our experience, and it might be because we're from a northern climate. We're from Minnesota, so we're accustomed to snow, because part of that is going out into the glacier plateau where you can be out in the snow and take pictures out there, and it was evident that a lot of people there maybe weren't accustomed to snow and so forth. But I think we found the whole experience underwhelming and almost annoying, just how packed it was. And there were large tour groups and dogs and families, and all that is expected, but it is loud and crowded and just not much of an enjoyable experience as to what you think of Switzerland. This is what you think of it as Switzerland, that you have these beautiful vistas and the Alps to peer at. So it's very touristy. So if it's not in your budget, and I think when we looked at what it was, I think with the half price, it was $120 for the Jungfrau, and then another $19 for some of our other transportation. So you're talking about like around 140 Swiss francs. That's going to be like pushing you into 150, 160 for US dollars. So if it is not in your budget, you're perfectly okay skipping the experience, because you may feel pressured, like this is something that you have to do. But quite frankly, some of the hikes in the area are a lot more enjoyable than going to the Jungfrau.
Yeah, check out All Trails or Riedrich's Thieves or whatever. A lot of things are listed that are fabulous and affordable and maybe not so well traveled.
Thanks for watching Wanderlust with Mackenzie's.
So tell your friends.
And happy travels.